Hello, it's Mark from Cars and Cameras, and today we're going to take a look at something different. We're going to take a look at a brand new camera from 17 years ago. Yes, you heard me correct. This camera is 17 years old, but it is brand new. Yes, this camera has never been used. It sat in a box. Somebody did take it out of the box, but the camera, you will see, is brand new. And originally it cost $4,500. But this was a very professional camera back in the day. I had one of these when it was new, and it was an amazing camera. When other cameras came along to replace it, I sadly got rid of it, but I really missed it. And now I have another one, and now we're going to check it out and see how this camera works. From looking at it, that the grips have turned white, but I have a little trick to make that look brand new. You can see here the camera has no marks on it whatsoever. The seller claimed that it had 23 test shots and it works perfectly. Now what we're gonna do with it is we're gonna take a little cloth with some alcohol. Yes, we're gonna use a little rubbing alcohol and we're gonna wipe down those rubber parts and we're gonna make them look new. I've completely cleaned it up, and you can see it looks pretty good. It looks really nice. And all I did was rub a little bit of 70% alcohol on a cloth and just wipe down those rubber parts. I would never get one of these cameras because it's so old, and normally it would be, well, pretty much used up, unless you can find one with a low shutter count and somebody really took care of it. But I really seized the opportunity when I found this one because it was virtually new with only a few clicks just to test it and make sure it worked. So is this camera what I remember for all those years ago? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at some test shots and check it out. All right, so there you have it. I think the images out of this camera are really nice. Now let's talk about that for a second. This camera has an 8.2 megapixel sensor, CMOS sensor. So yes, it is on the low end, but as you look at the pictures coming out of the camera, they look really nice. So what's really the disadvantage? Well, you're not going to be able to really crop in. But I look at this camera more like a film camera where you really didn't do heavy cropping. You know, I was trained in photography to shoot in the moment, and that's what you got. Not all this heavy processing with Photoshop and everything. So what you're seeing out of this camera is just the straight JPEGs. Yes, this camera can also shoot RAW, but I just wanted to show if you just turned on the camera and see what you can do. Now, here's the best part about this camera. I only paid $200 for it, and that's really an amazing value for what this camera originally cost. And yes, this one was, you know, a new old stock in the box, but I think if you looked hard and you were looking for something like this, you could find it. And yes, I did pair it with a beautiful lens that I'll do another video about that costs $550. And so when you really look at what the total cost is, it's really not that much. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe.